Assalamu friends, welcome back to the channel, always with Younes Charfaoui. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 benefits of writing unit tests in your software project. Let's get started. So, of course, writing tests is important and everything, but I will share some benefits here so maybe you will build up some more confidence in order to write more unit tests. So first of all, let's talk about the feedback that the unit test, this is the first thing, like testing allow you to get better and fast feedback. Why? Because imagine that you are writing in your IDE, right? And then for example, you misspell a function, you didn't call it correctly or something. The IDE itself, after doing some compilation or something else, it will tell you that, hey, I don't recognize this function, please call it correctly, or you are not naming it correctly or something. Why? Because the IDE is giving you this feedback. Imagine having the same feedback if, let's say, we change the code, but the feature will get broken, right? This kind of feedback, you have to work on it in order to get it. The way we work on it is by writing unit tests. So by writing unit tests, you are making some safety net for some section of codes, depending on which area of code you are targeting with unit tests. Sometimes some people just target the business core, business logic, and do it with unit tests. They don't use end-to-end tests for UI and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter. At least you have some form of feedback in order to let us know if we change something like by accident or we thought it won't break anything. We have this test that give us fast feedback in order to do a revert on your code or something else. So this is the first thing. Tests allow us for fast and immediate feedback whenever you change your code. The second thing is that tests will guide our code design and architecture into a better position. Why? Let's think about it. In order to make units testable, or like functions and classes and everything, like for behavior tests and everything, you have to test your unit independently from other dependencies. So if you are coupling everything together, it will be hard to test. So by writing tests, you are enforcing this decoupling thing. So because decoupling is a good thing in software engineering. Why it is a good thing? So we are separating responsibilities and other stuff like that. And one of the school of thought, like test-driven development, we write the test first. Why we write the test first? Because, well, first of all, we will think about the public API of the code and everything, but it allows us to design a code that is testable. And by testable, it will be decoupled from any dependencies, right? Well, we can use dependencies in the setup and other stuff, but this is the idea. Tests will guide the architecture and the design of the software into a better place. That's the second thing about benefits of tests. Third benefit of tests, like I always hear it like that, like test gives you executable specification. And this is right. As software engineers, we have to document our code. But there is a problem in this documenting our code. Like we as software engineers, we can't go into some documents and type. And the problem is code changes. This is the main problem. If it doesn't change, well, we can write. But imagine that after each change, you have to get back to this documentation stuff and write how to can use it and everything. Well, on large scale software for frameworks and everything, well, you have to do that. But in your project, it will be a lot of procrastination and everything. But by writing unit tests, it allows you to have this executable specification. When you read this test, you will understand what the system is doing. And guess what? If you change the code, for example, sometimes you don't have to change the test. And guess what? This test will be always up to date. Why? Because you have to always make them green. If a test failed, you have to fix it. Either you fix the test or you fix the code. So you will always have the up-to-date version of this kind of documentation specification thing that tell you what the system needs to do. So this is a great thing about writing unit tests. Another benefit is that tests will give you some code samples, right? Imagine that I am new in your team, right? And I want to understand how to use some of the components. I don't know about these components now. Well, you can sit with me and tell me how to use that, how to use that. But with tests, I can read the test, and directly from the test, I can see what I can offer this method, function, or something else. What are the dependencies and what will be the output and all the different cases in this class or function or something else. So this code samples from the test is very crucial because it helps us understand how the code we are using works and how to use it, of course. Now, there is other benefit for tests, but the one that I'm interested in, like this is the number 5, of course, the one I love and admire about writing tests, this is the best thing about it, is that it allows us to refactor. So refactoring code is essential, right? You have to refactor your code because why? Because requirements change. You get a better design idea that allow you to do this stuff and this stuff and this stuff. You can make it flexible, but nothing guarantees that if you change the code, maybe it's changed the behavior. As Martin Fowler said in his book Refactoring, refactoring is about changing the code structure without changing the observable behavior, right? I don't remember the code specifically, but this is about it. So when you write tests, you allow yourself to do future refactoring safely, because if you don't have those tests, you will be afraid to touch the code because maybe you can introduce a bug. But if you have tests in place, you are confident first of all to change, right? This is the most important thing. And let's say that there is a bug or something after doing these changes, you can get back and make your tests green. There is a quote from Michael Feeders in his famous book, Working Effectively with Legacy Project or Legacy Code. He defines legacy code as what? Legacy code as code without tests. Imagine that. Legacy code is a code without tests. Why is that? I already shared that in a previous short video in live last year. Why is that? Because without having tests, you can't improve that code. You can't extract functions, have better design, introduce other features without touching previous features, and so on. So having that suite of tests that you can trust with your life, as Uncle Bob always says in his video, that you can trust with your life, is very important to the growth and the sustainability of the software project. So these are 5 benefits of writing automated tests in your project. Now there is other benefits for writing tests. Of course, I can't tell you all the benefits in one short video like that, but writing tests definitely is good practice, and definitely it will make you work faster in your software project and enable that growth. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video to the end. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and see you in the next videos. Salam alaikum.